All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Captain Cody Davis here with you guys again, as always. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys. I just did this video that I'm going to do right now, and I wanted it to be 5 minutes, and it ended up being like 16 minutes. I don't know how this happens. I guess my mouth doesn't stop going. So I'm going to try and shorten it up for you. So I'm going to do the exact same video I just did, but we're going to just shorten it up and see what happens. What we're going to be talking about is what I got right here. Most of you know what this is. If you don't know what to tell you. Gambler, Big Easy, one of the most fun, most versatile baits on the market, especially for fishing. I want to say down here on Lake Okeechobee, but really down here in Florida, but really all over the country. It's essentially just a solid body swim bait, but most of you know already what makes this bait really special, or where this bait really excels, is actually not using it like a swim bait at all, but actually buzzing it across, grass, whether it's mostly emergent grass, Kissimmee grass, pads. You can bring it over the top of hydrilla, through reeds, whatever. Really just buzz it down the bank, but essentially buzz this thing like a soft plastic, weedless whopper plopper is what this is. Now, obviously, it is a swim bait, so it can be swam like it's probably was initially designed to do. But this thing just flat out catches them. You can cover tons of water with it. It catches numbers. It catches giants. You can catch them pre-spawn, post-spawn. The best time, in my opinion, to catch them on it is damn in the middle of the spawn. Don't even know why I threw damn in there, but I did because it gets eaten that good. Most of you already know what this is, but like I said, but the real reason I'm making this video and what we're going to talk about is the hook that I throw it on, because that's one of the biggest questions I get from people that get in my boat is not necessarily like, how do I catch bass, right? The way that I market my business through YouTube and stuff, I get a lot more experienced anglers, we'll call them tournament anglers, from all over the country, whether they make a special trip down here, whether they're down here from work, but I don't really got to show them anything. They're just as good a fisherman, most of them way better than I am. And, I get to learn just as much from them that I do, I get to learn just as much from them as they do me. So super cool. Just talking about tackle, tactics. A lot of my customers from all over the country, they fish tournaments in all different states. So it's really cool to see, what kind of tackle they're using, or terminal tackle, or line, or rods, or why they do something a certain way. And that's basically all this is going to be. And when it comes down to this bait in particular, at least down here on Lake Okeechobee, everyone has a certain way to do it, and everyone has their own way. But one of the biggest deals is like, there's two arguments. Like, do you throw it on 50-pound braid or 65-pound braid? I'm a 65-pound guy, but what hook you use it on is like different across the board. So many people do use so many different hooks, and I'm kind of the same way. When I first started, it was a 5/0 EWG Gamakatsu Superline. I knew it wasn't right, but it did work. And then when I first started dating my wife, she was throwing it on this guy right here. This is actually off of her rod. This is the Gambler Big Easy hook. This is the 7/0 with the little 1/8 ounce belly weight on here. It's got a little spring lock on the front. And this thing worked great. It held the bait great. The bait swam awesome. Obviously, it fit it great. It was the hook literally designed for the bait specifically by the company. And my hookup ratio, my landing ratio, everything was pretty damn good. I would open them every once in a while on big fish. You doing those big hook sets in the grass. But what I also did like about this hook is it did also fit the Big Easy's little cousin, the Easy Swimmer, which is an inch smaller swim bait that we would scale down to during post-frontal conditions, during the spawn, when they wanted something a little more subtle. And this hook fit both of them. But the other cool thing about this hook, having that little belly weight, is if you did need to swim the bait like a swim bait, it just made that bait run true. And also when we're killing the bait, whether the fish is V-lining for it and you need to kill it, or dropping this bait in a bed, a hole of grass, it just helps that bait fall a little bit faster, especially in the wind. So this is what I threw for a long time, but I also would go back and forth, and a lot of people do, like a 7/0 EWG style Gamakatsu Superline hook, or the big one out here was the big wide gap Owner, the Owner Beast hook. Tons of different hooks. People play with all different ones, and I kind of have been too, until the other day. I went into, I think it was Roland's Marina because I had a trip. By the way, we've been crushing them on this bait. Um, Real quick, the lake hasn't set up for a great big easy bite really in the last couple of years, aside from a couple of areas, just because of the way the lake's set up. But right now, low water, really clean water. This works awesome. You're throwing it, making long casts, covering lots of water. You can bomb this thing a mile, get it away from the boat, buzzing it on top. It's creating that deep gurgle, that blub, 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 like again, whopper plopper style action. You could bring it through all that Kissimmee grass, those reeds, dollar pads, whatever it might be. And two things: you're calling fish from a long ways away. With the conditions, these fish are coming from 15 yards to chase this bait down right now, which is awesome. Then when they get there, or it comes over their head, they're not getting a good look at the bait. With the clean water, these big fish are educated. They can't study the bait. It's moving. It's a now or never situation. Most of the time they crush it. Been a lot of big tournaments won on this deal lately. Really over the last couple months since the water's been low. I think there was a Lake and Trail tournament one, a fast break event one on this bait. I know my buddies Ricardo and Joe in the King of the Glades Classic ended up winning on this bait. It's big easy. We all know about it, right? And we've been crushing them on it. So I needed some big easy hooks. I've been playing around with hooks. I went in there. They had a whole peg full of big easy hooks. I grabbed the 7/0, 1/8 ounce ones like I always do. And lo and behold, I open it up and it's a different hook. Not much different, but it's definitely different. I don't know when they did this, but they did it. And I was like, oh, crap. I don't know if I'm going to like it. I didn't study the hook. I just tied it on. And me and my customers went to work with it and been playing with them now for about a month. These things kick ass. I love them. They're a little bit thicker gauge hook. You can see, obviously, it's a little bit thicker gauge. So I haven't opened them up. It's not ridiculously heavy gauge where it's going to be hard to get good penetration on a hook set. But it does. I mean, I've got them right through the side plate of the cheek, which is where I used to open this hook up every now and again. Just, when they hit this bait, you're letting them take it. A lot of times you'll set the hook and I don't even think it had to do as much with the gauge of the hook as it did the angle of the bend in the belly of the hook. This has got a really kind of just like that EWG style, but it's got the spring lock on it. My hookup ratio and my landing ratio has been damn near 100% since March, since I guess it was April. I don't know, last 2 or 3 months since I got these. The hooks are lasting forever. Like I tie it on my big easy rods for my customers and they're on there. They're super sharp. They've got a really big barb on there, which is nice. And it's got the 1/8 ounce weight, which is super cool. Like I said, if you need to wake the bait, you can, but you can still, it's light enough that you can buzz it. You got the belly weight on there to kill it. So really, I'm just making this video for you guys to check this out. Last thing, what they give you are these little spring locks here in the bag. Something Breezy tipped me off 2 years ago was to go up to the biggest owner spring lock they have. It's a big one, right? And it's just going to grip your bait a lot more. You're going to be able to, get a lot more fish catches out of a single bait. It doesn't rip, it doesn't bog down, doesn't slide down the hook when you're bouncing into reeds. And it's great. But when you're catching fish on it, what it does do is kind of open them up as you see here. So what I've been doing is this is actually an upgraded spring lock. I don't know who's making it for them, but my buddies over at NLBN, No Live Bait Needed, sell these on their website because their K-tail swim baits, they require a hook similar to this one. And when you're talking about hooking 150-pound tarpon and or 30-pound snook, they're going to mess up some spring locks. So these are they're the same diameter, but they're a thicker gauge spring lock. Been working awesome. And for any of you, like I said, these little guys are easier to get into the bait, but they still rip out. I just took this one off. But all you got to do is get this bait started and push that nose of that bait so it kind of mushrooms out and get it straight. Push and turn. And once you get it started, continue to push so you can see it widens that bait out and it will take this big old spring lock here. Go ahead and hook it on there. And you can see it's on there perfect. And this thing is, it ain't coming off. So when you're hooking fish, you're gonna get a lot more life out of your bait. But also, if you're getting snagged, bouncing into reeds, cattails, and stuff, where this wants to slide down and rip, you're not gonna have that issue with that bigger spring lock. So you can check that out. But again, if you guys are looking for a new hook to throw your big swim baits on, your 5-inch swim bait, I'd highly recommend the Gambler Big Easy, and I highly recommend the new Gambler Big Easy hook. Again, this is the 7/0 with the 1/8 ounce belly weight. Check that out, and let me know what you guys think. Appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.